Hi there, welcome to Southern Beauty Pilots. My name is Jennifer. We're so glad you're here. One of two things has probably happened if you are watching this video right now. You may be a brand new customer to SEINT that just received their palette and your artist has sent you over here to get some additional training and some additional resources, or you may be a brand new artist, in which case your mentor has sent you here to check out some tools, tips, tricks, things that we have learned throughout our time as artists here. So wherever you are in your SEINT journey, welcome. We are so glad you're here and happy to support you in whatever way you need support. This video specifically is how to highlight and contour using your basic 4-shade set. If your artist built you a basic 4-shade set, this is the perfect video for you. I'm going to show you today how to highlight and contour, use your lip and cheek color, all with this one brush. This is the 3D brush, which generally is recommended for all beginners to cream foundation. So I'm going to show you how to highlight and contour today. First of all, I want to recommend that the first time you use this makeup to just have a clean face, okay? So you can use your typical skincare that you would normally use. You just need to make sure that you have given it plenty of time to soak in. So I would say 10 to 15 minutes would be best before you go in with your foundation. I do not recommend that you start out using any kind of primer because some primers are incompatible with these products. So we recommend that you start out with just a clean, dry face in the beginning. If you are having issues with longevity, if you are having issues with texture or anything where you're not feeling super happy with the makeup, you just need to reach out to your artist and we can help you troubleshoot. Okay, so I'm going to start out with contour. That is the darkest color in your magnetic compact. Hopefully you've built your palette already. I think we'll have a video for how to do that on this channel as well. But contour is your darkest color in your palette. And you are going to use your contour in very specific areas of your face in order to bring some depth and dimension and accentuate some features. You can also use contour to diminish some features. And I'm going to show you how I do that on my face. Your face is obviously going to be different and you are going to want to accentuate maybe different areas than I do. Or maybe you have areas that you want to minimize that are different than mine. But this is the basic, fundamental information and way that you can apply contour to your face. Okay, so I'm going to use the fluffy end of this 3D brush and I'm going to dip into my contour. And when I say dip, this is what I mean. I'm tapping in and I'm getting product off on my brush. I am not swiping in, I'm not swirling it around. And the reason is that these creams are very highly pigmented and should last you months and months and months and months. You do not need much in order to get the coverage that you need. The more makeup you use, the less happy you are going to be with this product. So if I ever have a customer say to me, I'm not very happy with my makeup, the first question that I always have for them is, okay, tell me how much makeup you're using. So a little goes a long way. You want to use the minimum product possible to get the coverage that you're looking for. So you can see that I just have tapped in here to my contour. I'm squeezing this a little bit. Now we're going to start on the cheekbones. Okay, so how do you figure out where contour goes on your cheekbones? So you're gonna feel, starting like right back here where your ear attaches to your head, and you're gonna feel where your cheekbone is. So right here is the hollow of my cheekbone, meaning that's the bottom of my cheekbone, and I can feel that little indentation there. So I'm gonna take my contour and go right above the indentation. I'm not going into the indentation, but I'm gonna go right above, and I'm just gonna kind of tap my contour color toward the corner of my mouth, not going any further than the outside of my eyebrow. Okay, and I'm gonna do that on both sides. Once you figure out where your cheekbones are, the first couple times you might have to feel, but then after that, you'll just know exactly where your contour goes. So that is my cheek contour. I'll do just a little bit more there. Okay, and that's about as dark as I like to get it. You want to be able to see it. When you blend, this will look exactly how you want it to look. So don't be afraid to go a little darker in the beginning. The next place I like to contour is my forehead. I'm still using the fluffy side of the brush, and I'm pulling it back into my hairline here. This, for me, is going to provide some minimization of the size of my forehead. So I like to bring it down pretty far. If you have a very small forehead, you may just need a little tiny stripe, okay? So that's how I like to contour my forehead. And then under the jaw. So depending on what you have going on here, adding contour under your jaw can help to minimize the jowls somewhat, and also any loose skin that you may have. If you're my age and you have that, it will help to minimize that. It adds a little shadow there. I like to contour my nose. This is a little tricky with this brush, but you just need to really squeeze flat and just draw straight lines sort of on the top of your nose. On either side, there are all kinds of things you can do with nose contour that are magical. My nose contour is pretty straightforward, okay? And then still squeezing, I like to take it right under my bottom lip and just give myself a little bit of definition there. All right, so that's how you contour. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is tap into my main foundation or main highlight shade. This is the equivalent of foundation in normal makeup terms. And what I'm gonna do with that is I'm going to just but apply it all around where I place my contour. So I like to start with contour because it then gives me a really good roadmap of my face so that I can know exactly where I want to place my main highlight shade, still using the fluffy end of this brush, and just taking it all around where I placed my contour and covering up my redness. And I hope that you can see that I have been able to achieve that coverage with very minimal product. I am tapping into my cream. Okay, again, tapping. I'm not digging, swiping, swirling. All right, now I'm going to apply my accent or brightening highlight shade. This is a lighter shade, the lightest of the three in your 3D foundation set. We will also use the term concealer interchangeably for this color. So this time I'm going to use the pointier end of my 3D brush, and I'm going to brighten up in certain areas where I want to bring some additional light, which is right in the center of my face. So I start in the center of my forehead and I drag that down the bridge of my nose. I go into the corner, it's sort of down the side of my nose. This will help conceal darkness. If you have a lot of under eye coloration issues, your artist can help you pick out a color corrector. Just reach out to them. Then I like to take this right up the side to add some extra lift and brightness. It's really good to do this after you've applied your eyeshadow too, to catch any fallout that you may have. I put a little bit here on the top of my lip and the center of my chin. Now I'm going to go back to my fluffy end of my brush and I'm going to blend. Now you'll notice that instead of swirling this all around, I am tapping. This is called stippling. This will help to make sure the colors stay where you placed them and that you do not end up all one color in the end, because the point of using 3D foundation is that you use 3 different colors and you have 3 different colors that achieve 3 different objectives for you. So I'm just blending my brightening highlight first, tapping. This is also going to help me have an airbrushed appearance, if I didn't say that already. And now I'm going to go in and start blending my contour. I will swipe this just a little bit up into my hairline so that blends nicely there. Going to blend underneath my jawline. You're going to blend downward when you are blending your chin contour. Just going to kind of hit where I put my main foundation shade, just to make sure that all that is nicely blended. Hit my nose contour, the contour under my lip, and now I'm going to tap and sort of push upwards my cheek contour. I want to make sure that I leave some of that color in place, because when I apply my blush, it's going to continue to blend and you want to be able to still see that definition. Okay. The next color that you have in your compact is going to be your lip and cheek color. I like to use the fluffy side of my brush for this. You can also use your fingers, but I like to use the fluffy side of my brush and tap in, and I just put my blush right directly above where I placed my contour. If you have a thinner face and you want to add some fullness, you can bring your blush a little bit more toward the center. But for me, I like to keep it like back behind the corner of my eye. I feel like it gives me some additional lift and a pop of color. So I'm just going to kind of marry that together with my contour. Tap, tap, tap. I like to smile and see how that's looking on the outer apples of my cheeks. Make sure that I have the color built up to what I want it to be. And then I'll just take my finger in the same color that I put on my cheeks and apply it to my lips. You have everything you need right there in your one compact with your one brush. Super easy. You can have lots of different add-ins. So if your artist built you a palette where you have a bunch of other products, maybe you have a bronzer, maybe you have an illuminator, maybe you have some eyeshadows, there are going to be tutorials on this page for how to use every single one of those products, as well as every single one of the brushes. So maybe if you ended up with a different brush in your set, that's okay, because you're going to be able to find a tutorial on how to use that here on this page. I hope that was helpful. If any of you have questions, please be sure to reach out to the artist who sent you over here. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Take care now.